Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Everything I've ever done, everything I've ever seen, everything I've lost or won, everything I've ever dreamed has brought me here, to the present moment here, to a new beginning here, and I'm seeing life so clearly now. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul.
Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living in Southeast Louisiana. I'm Reverend Larrye-Marie, the spiritual director here, and we are a group of radically inclusive spiritual renegades healing hearts and creating community. And we encourage everyone to live in enthusiastic expectancy of their abundance and their good. Today, we're continuing our series on life, love, and the pursuit of happiness, according to the boy, the mole, the fox, and the horse. And we're blessed with Reverend Catherine Bonin, the happiness minister, providing the message and sharing her unique insights in self-care. Reverend Catherine's stories and message are quite profound, so stay with us as you learn how to take better care of yourself and make it a priority. Let's begin with prayer. We take a deep, nourishing breath, and we connect with that essence of God, the joy, the self-love, the self-care, the freedom that is the raw material that is each of us. That presence is all that I am, all that each of us is, and all that we can choose to be. I know that God is flowing in, through, and as each of us right here and right now. And I know that we are each here by divine appointment to hear something in the message, the music, the quotes, all of the above, that encourages us to remember that self-care is about honoring our own divinity. So I'm grateful that you've decided to spend some time with us today. So grateful that you are joining this community for a message on love. And it's from that gratitude that I release these words into the law of mind, spirit, and action. For what I know is the divine always says yes. And since the divine has called it good and done, there is no need for any of us an effort to make it happen. So knowing that, I release my word, I say amen, and let's affirm it together. And so it is. And what I know is that self-care for me is about joining in community. So I love this opening song because it speaks about our community and how welcoming we are. It's a song that Karen Drucker wrote with Gary Lynn Floyd. So sing along with her as she sings, One in Unity.
Hey there, good morning. CSL Southeast Louisiana. It's Karen Drucker coming to you once again. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. So will you sing with me this morning? I've got a new little chant, a little song for you. Here's my magic wand that says that you can sing. Do you love that? I spared no expense. So that is the magic wand that says that you could sing. If anyone ever told you you couldn't, now you can. So this is a little chant I wrote with Gary Lynn Floyd. And I'm going to go slow so you can learn it. And then we'll go back and speed it up. It goes like this. We are one. We are in unity. We are a loving, inclusive community. Ain't that the truth? We are grateful, and everyone is welcome here. We spread our love into the world. Got it? That's the first part. The second part goes like this. We are one. We are in unity. We are one. We are one. And we are one. We are in unity. We are one. We are one. You got it? You ready? Speed it up. Bring in the band. Here we go. We are one. We are in unity. We are a loving, inclusive community. We are grateful. Everyone is welcome here. We spread our love into the world. Do that again. We are one. We are in unity. We are a loving, inclusive community. We are grateful. We are grateful. Everyone is welcome here. We spread our love into the world. Next part. We are one in unity. We are one. We are one. And we are one in unity. We are one. We are one. To the top. We are one. We are in unity. We are a loving, inclusive community. We are grateful. Everyone is welcome here. We spread our love into the world. Next part. We are one. We are one in unity. We are one. We are one. We are one in unity. We are one. We are one. And we are one in unity. We are a loving, inclusive community. We are grateful. Everyone is welcome here. We spread our love into the world. We spread our light. We spread our light into the world. We spread our joy. We spread our joy into the world. We spread our love. We spread our love into the world. And so it is. Give yourself a big round of applause.
So this is our time for celebration and healing. Our time in our service where we celebrate life and we pray for people who desire prayer. We begin with celebration, so I invite you to say aloud so that the whole universe can hear it, any event in your life for which you're grateful and joyful this week. And now we turn to the healing portion of our service. We're a community steeped in healing. So we pause now to pray for anyone who's not feeling the joy of life that we perhaps were just feeling. They're not feeling maybe that they have things to celebrate. And I truly love this part of our service because it's so in alignment with who we are. So let's pray. God is all there is. God is that love and that peace and ease and grace and freedom and so much more. And as an individual expression of the divine, each of us have within us all of these qualities of spirit. They're available to us right here and right now. And what I know to be the truth is that there are people on this planet right now that aren't embracing those qualities. So we stop for a moment and we create a circle of love. And in this community, we place in that circle of love anyone that we recognize within ourselves or for someone else that might need prayer. So I'm going to pause, and I just invite you to say aloud the names of all of those people that you want to include in our circle of love. I know that God is right where each of us happens to be, right here and right now, moving in, through, and as each of us. And I know that the divine has heard every name that we spoke, either in our hearts or aloud. And what I'd like you to do now is pause again, and from your heart to all of theirs, just send out love, knowing that the divine knows exactly how to distribute it. And what I know to be the truth is that anything that needs to be released within each of these people is being released now, be it disease of the mind, of the body, of the soul. I know that anything that's seeking to come forth and be lifted up can be lifted up. And that this release and this lifting up is healing whatever's called to be healed. I know that each of these people is feeling more deeply their connection with the divine right now. I have evidence of that, and I know it to be the truth for everyone that we place in our circle. So I'm so grateful to know that the God without is the God within me. The God without is the God within every person in our circle, every person in this community, and every person on this planet. And I'm grateful for that power of community prayer and what it means to the uplifting of the people on this planet. So it's from all that gratitude that I release this prayer into the law of mind, spirit, and action. Because I know that the divine, in all of its wisdom, has already called all of this good. Any heavy lifting that needs to be done to heal whatever needs to be healed, the divine has already taken care of. So I can just know it's already done, say amen, and together we can affirm it. And so it is. I invite you to join me for our community affirmation. My life's purpose is already within me, and I am committed to its unfoldment. I am here by divine appointment to join in a community that cares for one another, to be in a place that transforms people's lives, to remember the highest truth about myself, to learn spiritual tools for personal transformation, and thus to make the world a more joyful place. So this is our time for meditation. And as we navigate the currents of our daily lives, it's easy to lose sight of the importance of nurturing our own well-being. Our responsibilities, our commitments, our obligations often lead us to put the need of others before our own. So as Karen moves us into the silence, allow yourself to just let go of any outside distractions, the past, the future. Just be in this holy instant now. Settle into some time with the divine. Truly love yourself. You must learn to be gentle with yourself when things happen that you could easily feel guilty about. So this time in meditation is a fabulous opportunity for us to pause and consider a profound truth. Caring for ourselves is not selfish. It's an act of reverence for the divine creation that we are. Enjoy Karen as she sings, "Be Gentle with Myself."
So when I think about self-love and self-care, this song, this little chant, brings me back to center, helps me to remember to be gentle with myself. I will be gentle with myself. I will be gentle with myself. and I will rock myself like a newborn baby child. Can you sing that with me? I will be gentle with myself. I will be gentle with myself, and I will rock myself. I will rock myself like a newborn baby child. I will be tender with my heart, tender with my heart. I will be tender with my heart. I will hold my heart. I will hold my heart like a newborn baby child. Sing that again. I will be tender with my heart. I will be tender with my heart. And I will hold my heart like a newborn baby child. Now check out this middle section. It says, I will only go as fast as the slowest part of me feels safe to go. Sing that line with me. I will only go as fast as the slowest part of me feels safe to go. 'Cause now I know I will be easy on myself. I will be easy on myself. I will be easy on myself. Love myself like a newborn baby child. I will be easy on myself. I will be easy on myself. Love myself. I love myself like a newborn baby child. So let's take that into meditation. I will be gentle with myself. Sing it one more time. I am gentle with myself. I am gentle with myself. I love myself. I love myself like a newborn baby child. I am gentle with myself. I am gentle with myself. And I love myself like a newborn baby child. And I rock myself. And I rock myself like a newborn baby child. hold myself. I hold myself like a newborn baby child. Let's end with I love myself. And I love myself like a newborn baby child.
My name is Gloria Nye, and this reading is the March 15th entry from 365 Science of Mind, A Year of Daily Wisdom from Ernest Holmes. The reading is entitled Love. In the Bible, John 15:9, we read, "As the Father has loved me, so I have loved you. Now remain in my love." And this is the reading. Love is the lodestone of life, the great and supreme reality. Love is the highest gift of heaven, the greatest good on earth, and the treasure of all our search. It is the end and aim of everything. We cannot doubt that God is love, because love renews and reinvigorates, while hate kills. People who love animals and understand them are not afraid of them, for love transmits some subtle essence of life to everything it touches, awakening within all things an equal awareness and response. This is true also of human relationships. Love is the greatest healing power there is, and no one feels whole without it. But love is something that need not be confined to only a few persons. That love that we have for the few can be extended to more without losing the love of the few. And what a wonderful experience and realization it would be if we learned to love everyone as we love the few. Right now, our vision is hardly great enough to include this larger good. But when love becomes more complete, it will take in a larger territory, and we will experience a greater degree of livingness. Today, my love goes out to all people and to all things. There is no fear in this love, for perfect love casts out all fear. There is no doubt in this love, for faith penetrates all doubt and reveals a unity at the center of everything that embraces all things. This love flowing through me harmonizes everything in my experience, brings joy and gladness to everything, brings a sense of security and well-being to everyone. I realize that love flowing through, in, and around me and all things is one vast, all-enveloping essence and force, forever emanating from the living God.
What a fabulous way to start a message on self-love and self-care, knowing that we could all lighten up sometimes and even learn to laugh at our mistakes and at events that happen around us. Enjoy this wonderful song as Karen Drucker sings, Lighten Up.
So when I think about self-love and self-care, I know for myself I need to lighten up. I was walking down the street, I was feeling mighty fine, till I caught a glimpse in a window of my behind. There was a jiggle and a wiggle that I'd never seen before, and as I looked a little closer, oh my God, I found more. I freaked out and I shrieked out, well, this has just ruined my day, when I heard a voice inside of me say, lighten up. That's your part. Don't take it so seriously. Lighten up. Just trust that mystery. Lighten up. It doesn't matter anyway. Just enjoy your life. Get out of your own way. Lighten up. You look better already. I think you're lightening up. I can feel it. So now I'm headed to a party to meet my friends. I've got this outfit that's to die for. Honey, I am just the living end. But as I scope out the scene, it's obvious to me that the money at this party, well, it's simply obscene. 'cause they're talking about their mansions and their yachts and dropping names. In an instant, I feel unworthy, small and ashamed. But as I try to make a beeline, slip out the back door, I hear that voice inside of me say once more, lighten up. Don't take it so seriously. Lighten up. Just trust that mystery. Lighten up. It doesn't matter anyway. Just enjoy your life. Get out of your own way. Lighten up. So it took me a while to get to this point after years of therapy, but here's what it all comes down to, I think. Because worrying and judging, well, what good does it do? When you compare yourself to me, then I compare myself to you. This disease to please has just got to go. Because when I love myself, that's all I need to know. So now I'm looking in the mirror and a new wrinkle has appeared. Do I curse? Do I stress? It's the thing I most feared. But then I remember my new mantra, and I soon realized that I am perfect even with wrinkles and cellulite thighs. I don't have to change a thing, or struggle, or try, 'cause my real beauty comes from deep inside. Lighten up. I won't take it so seriously. Lighten up. I'm gonna trust God's mystery. Lighten up. It doesn't matter anyway. Just enjoy your life. Get out of your own way. Lighten up. I won't take it so seriously. Lighten up. I'm gonna trust that mystery. Lighten up. It doesn't matter anyway. I'm gonna enjoy my life. Count my blessings every day. What a concept. So will you join me? Will you make a commitment today, right here, right now? 'Cause it feels so good to lighten up.
I'd like to thank our reader, Gloria Nye, for the wonderful reading. She's always so articulate. And thanks also to Karen Drucker and our CSL music team for our beautiful music today. Today, we continue our wonderful 2023 spiritual journey and our series on life, love, and the pursuit of happiness according to the boy, the mole, the fox, and the horse. And we are exploring self-care. This is already week 10 of our journey. And like the boy, the mole, the fox, and the horse, we still have plenty of time to discover who we are, what has meaning to us, where our home lies. And I remind you that each week is independent. And this week, you walk away with some tools that you might use to delve deeper into understanding your life, what brings you joy, and how to love and take better care of you. So before I turn it over to Reverend Catherine, here's your question for the week. What is the one choice you might make today to make self-care a priority? To know we are each perfect in our imperfections, and to remember, self-care is a way of honoring the divine within us. One more time. What is the one choice you might make today to make self-care a priority? To know we are each perfect in our imperfections, and to remember, self-care is a way of honoring the divine within us.
Good morning, my friends. What a joy it is to be with you again this morning. Let's start with a story, shall we? There was once a man who worked on a construction site who took his lunch with his coworkers. He sat down on a picnic table and he opened his lunchbox and said, "Oh no, a cheese sandwich? I hate cheese sandwiches." Well, the next day, same thing. He opened his lunchbox. "Another cheese sandwich? Oh my gosh, I hate cheese sandwiches." And the third day, cheese sandwich again? What do I have to do to not have a cheese sandwich? And one of his coworkers said to him, Why don't you just tell your wife that you don't like cheese sandwiches? And the guy looked at his coworker and said, wife? I don't have a wife. So my question to you is, how often do we complain about patterns in our life that we weave with our own two hands? How easy it is to forget one of the basic principles of our teaching, that we create our own reality. We create our experiences. Today, we're talking about self-care and being kinder to ourselves. As we continue our deep dive into this wonderful little book, The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse, we see the boy, the fox, and the mole walking at night. And the mole says, being kind to yourself is one of the greatest kindnesses. Well, I'm certain that I'm not the only one who has high expectations of myself, and I'm sometimes are too critical, too hard on myself. But if you're like me, you sometimes put yourself and your needs on the back burner, wanting to be a good friend, a good parent, or a good partner. Here's the thing though, we can't give from an empty cup. We have to give from an overflowing place, from a place of fullness. This is one of the main reasons why self-care is so important. One time when giving a talk, Wayne Dyer brought an orange with him to the stage, and he opened a conversation with a bright young fellow of about 11 who was sitting in the front row. If I were going to squeeze this orange as hard as I could, said Wayne, what do you think would come out? The boy looked at him like he was crazy and said, juice, of course. Do you think apple juice would come out? Asked Wayne. No, said the boy. What about grapefruit juice? Asked Wayne. No, said the boy. Well, what would come out? Orange juice, of course, the boy answered. Why? Why, when you squeeze an orange, does orange juice come out? Wayne asked. Well, because it's an orange, and that's what's inside, said the boy. Dyer nodded and addressed the audience. He said, let's assume that this orange is you, and that someone squeezes you. Someone puts pressure on you. Maybe they say something you don't like or something that offends you. And out of you comes anger, hatred, bitterness, fear. Why? Well, the answer, as our young friend told us, is because that's what's inside. It's one of the greatest lessons in life, Dyer said. It doesn't matter who does the squeezing, your mother, your father, your brother, your children's, your boss, the government. It doesn't matter. If someone says something about you that you don't like, what comes out of you is what's inside. And what's inside is up to you. It's your choice. That's a powerful lesson. You see, many of us are natural givers, and many of us allow other people's energy to drastically affect our lives, causing us to feel emotionally drained, mentally and physically exhausted, and spiritually depleted. When we get to that place where we no longer react with love, that should be an indication that something's wrong, red flags. That is a time for balance. When what comes out of us is anything other than love, it's a message for us to remember self-care. When we make self-care a priority and let go of any guilt we might have around caring for ourselves, we're more rested, we're more calm, and we're more loving. The juice that comes out when we're squeezed will reflect those qualities. See, caring for yourself isn't selfish. Caring for yourself is your sacred responsibility. In the book, Let Your Life Speak, Parker Palmer says, self-care is never a selfish act. It's good stewardship. Anytime we give ourselves the care we require, we do it not only for ourselves, but for the many others whose lives we touch. So we all know what it's like to feel depleted. So now I want to ask you to think about this. Is feeling depleted a blessing? Before you say no, think about this for a minute. I've learned the hard way how important it is to turn challenges into opportunities. A Course in Miracles says that nothing happens to us. Everything happens for us. And that when something is uncomfortable, it's come up for us to heal. So there has to be something good in feeling depleted, right? It's a sign from our spirit within that something is going on. So there actually is a spiritual blessing in feeling depleted. There's a spiritual opportunity for us to see things differently and to turn our lives around in that moment. It's spirit within me saying, pay attention, pay attention. There's something here for you. Don't miss it. There's a metaphor I often share with classes that I teach, and it's because I love rocks, and I'll talk a little bit more about rocks later, but I love rocks. I love to go on the beach and collect rocks and find ones that just feel so wonderful in my hands. And there's a story here about rocks that I think you'll be able to relate to. You know, I believe that spirit throws pebbles at the window pane that is our lives. And those pebbles are little irritations. And they're really saying, pay attention, ping, ping, pay attention, ping, can I get your attention? Ping, ping, ping. And what happens is we just ignore it most of the time. And then what happens is a rock comes through that window pane that is our life, and we find ourselves sitting on the floor amidst a whole bunch of broken glass, wondering what happened. And so what we do then is we call a glass repair person and have them come over and give us a new window. But still, we don't deal with what happened. So eventually, a rock, a boulder, a giant rock, is going to fall right on our head. And that's because we didn't pay attention to those pebbles or the rocks. So what can we do to notice the pebbles and the rocks so that we can avoid the boulders? Well, we pay attention. We notice the discomfort. We see what's happening. We take a breath, stop for a moment and say, what do I need right now? And we turn our attention to self-care. Isn't it true that something inside you already knows what you need and what you need to do to take care of yourself? We all know what to do. We just don't do it. See, the evolution of our own spiritual care practice comes when we start to set intentions and to pay attention. Like I said, self-care is about filling your own cup first, because we can't give from an empty vessel. When we're feeling depleted and don't take care of ourselves, things can get pretty messy. There was once a cobbler who lived in a large village, and he was the only cobbler in town. So he was responsible for repairing the shoes and the boots of everybody else. But he didn't find the time to repair his own boots. At first, this wasn't much of a problem, but soon over time, his boots began to deteriorate and they started to fall apart. And while he worked feverishly on the boots of everyone else, his feet got blisters and he started to limp. His customers started to worry about him, but he reassured them that everything was all right. But after a few years, the cobbler's feet were so damaged and injured that he could no longer stand. He could no longer work because he was in so much pain. So no one's boots got repaired. As a consequence, he had to close his shop. And then the entire town started to limp. Everyone was in pain, all because the cobbler never took time to repair his own boots. See, what happens out there is directly correlated to what's happening in here, like squeezing that orange. Recognizing that you need care and then following through with it is an intentional way that we can love and honor ourselves. And that loving spirit that's within us, that's always here for us, always and in all ways. And if you really believe what we teach, and I think you do, otherwise you wouldn't be here this morning, then you know that the presence of God, joy, wisdom, peace, wholeness, and love lives and expresses itself in us, through us, and as us. So practicing self-care is really about honoring the presence of the divine in the moment and in each of us. It's funny how we know that God is omniscient, all-knowing, omnipotent, all-powerful, and omnipresent, always present. But we forget, some of us a lot more than others. But as we grow in spirit and forge a closer walk, we notice more, we remember more, we practice more, and we accept ourselves more, warts and all. Remember that story from the Wart King from a few weeks ago? See, we all have things about us that we think are less than perfect. The truth is, we're perfect, just the way we are, perfect in our imperfection, exactly as we should be and exactly where we need to be. Whenever I talk to my mom and complain a little, she always says, "Take care of Catherine, she's precious." It's a reminder to me to take time amidst what seems to be chaotic for self-care. Because we all have our own journey, right? We don't know what other people are going through. Have you ever played that game when you see people on the street where you make up stories about what's going on in their lives and create a story about them? It adds a whole new dimension to people watching. I play a version of that by myself when my life feels a little messy. I take a moment and I look around and I notice individual people and I remind myself that that's God and that they have their own stuff that they're dealing with, just like I have my own stuff, that I don't know their troubles and they don't know mine. Then I go on to the next person I see and I remind myself again, that's God in form. They have their own problems, just like I have mine. I don't know what they're going through, just like they don't know what I'm going through. And usually by the time I've done that 3 or 4 times, I feel a little bit better about my own journey. It's like this page in our book where the boy is observing the swans on the lake. "How do they look so perfect?" the boy asks. "There's a lot of frantic paddling going on beneath," answers the horse. You see, we never really know what other people are dealing with. And the truth is, despite how things might look, we all have our challenges. There are times when all of us are doing that frantic paddling. If it were easy, it wouldn't be called a challenge, and we wouldn't learn and grow from our experiences. Reverend Larry and I had a teacher in ministerial school by the name of Reverend Alice Bandy, who used to say that it's just as easy to learn from love and joy as it is from pain and struggle. None of us want to struggle. And I hope that as I continue on my own spiritual journey, that I learn more from love and joy, and I get to have less pain and less struggle in my life. In fact, it's my wish for all of you as well. So what are some things that we can do to facilitate that? Let's look once again at our book for some guidance. When asked about the 4 characters in the book, Charlie Mackesy said, all 4 characters represent different parts of the same person. The inquisitive boy, the mole who's enthusiastic but a bit greedy and likes cake, the fox who's been hurt, so he's withdrawn from life, slow to trust and wants to be a part of things, but cautious, and the horse who's the wisest bit, the deepest part of you, your soul. Can you see how you encompass all of those aspects? In this photograph, the boy asks the horse for some advice. "Don't measure how valuable you are by the way you're treated," he replies. And then, always remember you matter. You're important and you are loved, and you bring to this world things that no one else can. You see, consciously reminding ourselves of these truths helps us stay in that place of love and joy and avoid the pain and suffering that life can sometimes present. It won't completely eliminate it, but it certainly does make it less. But it starts with a paradigm shift, and then it moves into the other areas of your life. That's what today is about. If you take nothing else from this, perhaps the awareness that you can shift your view, your vision. You can have a paradigm shift if you're willing to make one. And if I haven't yet built a strong enough case, here's some research. According to a study at the Whole Being Institute on Positive Psychology, people who thrive in life take care of themselves in 5 ways. First, they focus on cultivating spirituality in their lives by ensuring that they're leading meaningful lives, savoring the present in a mindful way. 2, they take care of their physical bodies, especially for the purpose of tapping into the connection between their mind and their bodies. 3, they're intentional about intellectual stimulation by engaging in deep learning and remaining open to new experiences. 4, they nurture constructive relationships, both with themselves and with others. And 5, they're not afraid of their emotions. They don't deny or suppress their feelings. They're mindful of them. They pay attention. See, self-care is how we demonstrate self-love. And self-love paves the way for us to evolve in all of those dimensions, physically, mentally, intellectually, emotionally, and spiritually. And it all starts in consciousness. But doesn't everything? It starts with making a conscious decision, an intention to be happy, to lead a fulfilled life, to notice when we get off track and correct our course. If you're a sailor, you'll understand this next quote. It is my all-time favorite Emerson quote. And it goes like this: "The voyage of the finest ship is the journey of 100 tacks." See, we notice and we correct course. As A Course in Miracles says, choose once again. It's that simple. Notice and choose once again. Then your life will be a journey of 100 or 1,000 tacks, continually bringing us back on course. Because you see, without awareness, it's almost impossible to ever reach our full potential. Without that, it's impossible for us to give our gifts, to fulfill our purpose here on earth. We're not here just to be. We're here to be love, to be the presence of God in a way that is uniquely ours. On page 56 in The Spiritual Universe in You, my buddy Ernie says, "Love alone shall reveal the self to the self and find enthroned in the high citadel of the secret place of God in our own heart that beneficence which embraces the whole world. When love's activity is no longer confined to the littleness that restricts, but extends to everything and everyone, then shall we hear its song sung throughout the circuits of our lives." So by paying attention to what's inside when we get squeezed, we're noticing that littleness. We're letting go of that, and we're embracing love's activity within us. We're growing. Maya Angelou said, "As you grow, you'll discover that you have 2 hands, one for helping yourself, the other for helping others." We're all evolving. We're all becoming. And as we do that, we see the value in being of service. But we really can't give our gifts in a meaningful way until we've got our own lives together. We have to do our work before we can be there for others. Self-care can look a lot of different ways, and it's unique to each of us. But if you ask Professor Google, it's face masks and massages. For you, it could look like a healthy meal, a walk in nature, a good cry, a nap, even asking for what we need and trusting that we'll get it. An empty lantern provides no light. I like to believe that every one of us is a lighthouse, allowing our light to shine so brightly that it can light the way for others. Self-care is the fuel that allows our light to shine vibrantly. Like I said, we can't nurture others from a dry well. if we practice preventive wellness, if we notice the pebbles that are thrown against the window of our lives before we hit empty, then we can replenish our reserves and we can give from a natural state of love and strength and abundance. Self-care is a starting point. It's not an end game. It's where we start our conscious growth and development. When we make it a spiritual priority, it becomes a practice, and then everything else in life gets better. Anne Lamott says, almost everything will work again if you unplug it for a few minutes, including you. So schedule time for your own nurturing, for your own self-care. Make it a practice. Find the time. You deserve it. And now I want to close with one more story about rocks, of course, because I love rocks. A little different story, but I think you'll understand it. It'll make some sense. A professor stood before his philosophy class on the first day of school, and he had some items in front of him on the podium. When the class began, he picked up a very large, empty mayonnaise jar. He put a large rock and a bunch of medium-sized stones into the jar, careful not to break the glass. And he asked the students if the jar was full. They nodded, and many said, yes, it's full. The professor then picked up a box of pebbles, and he poured the pebbles into a jar. He shook the jar lightly, and the pebbles rolled into the open areas between the rocks and the stones. He then asked the student again if the jar was full. They agreed it was full. Well, then the professor picked up a box of sand, and he poured the sand into the jar. And of course, the sand filled up all those nooks and crannies in between the rock, the stones, and the pebbles. And he asked once more if the jar was full. This time, the students knew it had to be full, so they responded with a unanimous, yes, it's full. The professor then produced a beer from under the table and poured the entire contents of the jar, effectively filling the empty space between the sand. The students all laughed. Now, said the professor as the laughter subsided, I want you to recognize that this jar represents your life. The big rock is you. The stones are the things that are the most important to you, your family, your children, your friends, and your passions. If everything else was lost and only these things remained, your life would still be pretty full. The pebbles are the other things that matter, like your job, your house, your car. And the sand, that's all the other things that round out your life. And the beer, well, that's just added enjoyment. That's just some fun. If you put the beer in the sand in the jar first, he told them, there's no room for the pebbles, the stones, and most importantly, the rock. Same goes for life. If you spend all your time and energy on the small stuff, you'll never have time or room for the things that are most important for you. Pay attention, he said, to the things that are critical to your happiness. I want to reiterate that. Take care of yourself. Pay attention to your spiritual, your mental, your emotional, your intellectual, and your physical well-being. Read something that stimulates your mind. Meditate, take a walk, go to the gym, get good sleep, eat well. Spend time with your children, your parents, your grandparents. Do something special with your significant other. Celebrate a friend's success. Maybe go on vacation. There'll always be time to clean the house or fix the broken garbage disposal. Take care of the big rock and the stones first, the things that really matter. Set priorities. And then everything else will fall into place because the rest is just sand and beer. This week, I want to invite you to pay attention to how you're caring for yourself. Make a decision to take time every day to be more kind and loving towards yourself. Think about how you can change your thinking and change your self-talk so that you can shift your perspective. Remind yourself that the most important relationship you have is with yourself, and that you have a special gift that you can give to the world that only you can give. Only you can't give it if you're not filled up. So next time you have an orange, squeeze it just a little bit and remember to take better care of yourself, no matter how things seem. So let's pray, shall we? Let's move to that place where God is, that place within where I touch the hem of the garment, where I know that God is and I am, where I know that I am one with the one, where I know that Spirit goes before me, making those crooked ways straight, and that life is perfect in all of its imperfections. Not only do I know this for myself, but I know this for each person here. I know that self-care is a way of honoring that divine within. It's a form of praise and worship that we give from a full, overflowing cup, and how important it is to fill ourselves up by doing things that are kind and nurturing, by taking care of ourselves, by practicing self-care. So I know each person here finds time today and every day to care for themselves, to do things that are honoring and nurturing and fill their cup. How grateful I am for the many, many forms of spiritual practice, to be able to see all of life as a spiritual practice and to be able to use that as a way of filling my cup, to learn from every experience, to know that no matter how things look, God is right here. God is and I am. And so for each person here, may they all find time for self-care, for self-love. May each person here give from that place of fullness. And so it's with a grateful heart and so much love and appreciation for this community and for the opportunity to share some thoughts today, for each person's ability to find and make time for self-care, that I release my word. I give it to Spirit, knowing that God always says yes. I call my word good because I know that it is, and so it is. Amen. Until next time, my friends.
Doesn't Reverend Catherine seem to keep outdoing herself? Wow, what beautiful stories and quotes. And you'll be happy to hear she has one more topic, so you'll see her again in September. And since she did such an inspiring, beautiful prayer, let us just take time to remind us of our affirmation for the week. Here it is. How is it I so willingly and effortlessly make self-care a priority? Know I am perfect in my imperfections. And remember, self-care is a way of honoring the divine within me. And your challenge for the week is to do one thing each day that falls in that category of self-care, even if it's as small as taking 5 minutes to yourself just to sit and breathe. I hope you're enjoying this series as much as I am. And if you feel like you've been inspired, please consider making a donation. I'm very grateful to those people who so diligently support us and contribute on a regular basis. And I would love for us to be able to start meeting in person again and still have our online services and continue to have special ministers and special music and our special events. Enjoy our offertory song.
From the love of your Spirit within me, I bless this gift. I send it forth to heal, bless, and prosper. It does good work in the world and returns to me, multiplied abundantly. From the love of your Spirit within me, I bless this gift. I I send it forth to heal, bless, and prosper. It doesn't work in the world and returns to me, multiplied abundantly. And so it is, and so it is, and so it is.
You can find all of the information for donating at our website at cslsoutheastla.org. You can use the donate button there, or you can use Zella or Venmo at 225-287-8887. You can text your amount to 1-225-320-5100, or you can mail your donation to CSL Southeast Louisiana, care of Reverend Larrye-Marie Heil, 445 Magnolia Wood Avenue, Baton Rouge, Louisiana, 70808. We thank you for your tithes and donations, and we appreciate the fact that you are giving gifts that are flowing out to everyone we touch. With such a delightful message about self-care, this song is the perfect way to end the service. Couldn't we all use an opportunity to remember what a gift we are on this planet? And if you have your doubts, embrace these words and sing along with Karen Drucker as she sings, I am a gift.
This is a song I wrote with Karen Taylor Good. I am a gift, no matter what age, no matter how I look, there's beauty in each stage. I am a gift, and I promise every day that when I look in that mirror, I'll say, I am a gift. Can you sing that line with me? I am a gift. I am a gift. I've loved really well, and every year I've lived has a different tale to tell. I've made mistakes and I have some regrets, but I promise I'll never forget that I am a gift. I am, say that. I am a gift. And there may be times when I forget the truth about me, when it seems time and youth, they're just marching on without me. Well, that's when I might need you to find me and ever so gently remind me that I am a gift, God's precious child. I was put here on this earth, but only for a while. So I make this vow, and I say it with love. I am perfect and whole and enough, and I am a gift. I am a gift. So close your eyes for just a moment, take a deep breath. Just taking in those words, allowing yourself to know that who you are is enough. There's nothing you need to do, nothing you need to change. That you are whole, perfect, and complete just as you are. And each day it's an opportunity to affirm that. When you look in the mirror in the morning, to just say, yes, sweet one, you are that gift. And to embody that, because you are. But there may be times when I forget this truth about me, when it seems time pushing on without me. But that's when I might need you to find me and ever so gently remind me that I am a gift, God's precious child. I was put here on this earth, but only for a while. So I make this vow, I say it with love, that I am perfect and whole and enough, and I am a gift. Say that line with me. I am a gift. I am a gift. I am a gift. Now if you're with somebody, you can turn to them and say, you are a gift. Just say, you are a gift. And to give it back to yourself. I am. Knowing that each and every day you declare this to yourself. Because each of us is that gift. I am a gift. I am a gift. I am a gift.
Well, next week, I'll be back with you again doing the message, and we continue our series on life, love, and the pursuit of happiness, according to the boy, the mole, the fox, and the horse. Our topic is strength and courage, two marvelous qualities of the divine that shape our lives and empower us to overcome challenges, achieve our dreams, inspire others. Whether you're facing personal challenges or pursuing your passion or supporting those around you, these qualities can guide us through life's journey. So I hope you join us as we embolden ourselves to face our fears, tread new paths, and become the architects of our destinies as we journey home. See you next week. Thank you for joining us today. I invite you to like us on Facebook at Center for Spiritual Living, Southeast Louisiana. And please follow us on our YouTube channel at CSL SELA. And it's just about time to join in our community time, which is a live discussion that follows the service every Sunday at 11:45 a.m. You have a little bit of time to go get a cup of coffee or some tea, and then dial into our conference line. The number is 540-792-0192. And the participation code is 475220. We hope you'll join us. And so in closing, Disney claims to be the happiest place on earth, but we at the Center for Spiritual Living know that we are absolutely the most joyful. I know you enjoyed Reverend Catherine's message as much as I did. So until we meet again, may you be wrapped in the arms of love and kindness. And may you remember to be kind to yourself, to make self-care a priority, to recognize that when we step fully into acting from that place within us that chooses to be self-loving, and when we remember that caring for ourselves is an act of reverence for the divine creation that we are, what I know is we feel very much alive.
Alive, alive, alive forevermore. My spirit is alive, alive forevermore. Alive, alive, alive forevermore. My spirit is alive. Sing hallelujah, sing hallelujah. My spirit is alive forevermore. Sing hallelujah, sing hallelujah. My spirit is alive. Thy Spirit